Have you ever gotten to the end of the day and felt like you were busy, really busy, but you didn't actually get anything important done? If so, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to get a handle on time management today, and not as some boring chore, but as a real deal core skill for actually succeeding at work. Because time is the one thing we all have the same amount of, and learning how to use it, well, that changes everything.
So here's what we're going to do. First up, we'll look at what I'm calling the modern time trap. Then, we'll put on our detective hats and figure out where our time is actually going. From there, we'll build a solid plan, pack our toolkit with some really smart techniques, and finally, we'll talk about the mindset you need to truly work smarter, not longer. Sound good? Let's dive in.
All right, first things first. We have to set the stage, and that means talking about a feeling that has become way too common for pretty much all of us. That constant, nagging feeling of being completely and totally overwhelmed.
Does this feel familiar? That giant pile of tasks, the clock that just keeps ticking faster and faster, and this constant battle where the urgent stuff always seems to beat the important stuff? If you're not in your head right now, believe me, you are definitely not alone.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? An avalanche of emails. The pressure is just relentless. And look, it's not just in your head. The way our jobs are structured now, with all the pings and deadlines, it's almost designed to keep us feeling like we're always one step behind.
So here's the bottom line, and this is really important. Managing your time isn't just some nice, fluffy skill to feel a little less stressed. No way. It is a core career skill. Think about it. If you have two people with the exact same talent, the one who can manage their time better, they're going to win. Every single time. It really is that simple.
Okay, so we've all agreed it's a problem. Now what? Well, now we start fixing it. And the very first step in taking back control is figuring out where all that time is disappearing to in the first place.
And this right here, this is probably the biggest mindset shift we're going to talk about today. We call it time management, but you can't actually manage time. It's time. It's just going to keep on ticking no matter what you do. What you can manage is yourself. This whole thing is really about self-management, managing your focus, your habits, and your decisions.
Now get ready for this, because when you see a typical day broken down like this, it is kind of shocking. For a lot of us, a staggering 70% of our day is reactive time. That's just putting out fires and responding to things. Another 10%? Poof, wasted. That leaves this tiny little 20% slice for plannable time. Seeing it laid out like that is, wow, it's a real eye-opener, isn't it? So let's be super clear. Reactive time is when you're playing defense. You're just trying to stop the emails and interruptions from scoring on you. But plannable time, that's when you're on offense. That is your golden window to do the deep, focused work that actually moves the needle. Our entire mission is to shrink that reactive chunk and make that plannable chunk bigger.
So the big question is, how do we protect that precious plannable time? We figured out the problem, now we need a plan. And it all starts with having a simple but really powerful system.
And here's a fantastic system that's super easy to remember. It's called LEAD. First, you list out everything you got to do. Then, you estimate how long you think each thing will take. Then, and this is so crucial, you allow for some buffer time, for all the surprises. And finally, you decide on your real priorities. See? This takes a chaotic to-do list and turns it into an actual plan of attack.
All right, so now that we have our strategy, it's time to talk tactics. Let's fill up our toolkit with some practical, hands-on techniques you can literally start using the second this is over.
Okay, let's do some rapid-fire quick wins. First, batch your tasks. Do all your emails at once, not spread out. Second, seriously, clean your desk. It really does help clear your mind. Third, when you make a meeting, always have a hard end time. Fourth, stop cherry-picking the easy stuff. Do the important things first. And last, this is a great one. Use a prompt file, a simple place to stick tasks you can't do right now so they are out of your head until you're ready. Oh man, this one. We have all said this, we've all felt this. It's just quicker if I do it myself. And you know what? In that one single moment, it probably is true. But it is such a dangerous trap, and it costs you so much time in the long run.
So here's the counter move. It's a whole new way of thinking called speculate to accumulate. You have to invest a little bit of time now to save a ton of time later. Just think about it. Spending 15 minutes to show a colleague how to do something feels like a delay today. But if that saves you just 4 minutes every single day from now on, the return on that tiny investment is absolutely massive.
And how massive are we talking? You might think, 4 minutes, big deal. Okay, well let's do the math.
Those 4 minutes a day, every day, they add up to almost 2 extra full working days over a year. Let that sink in. 2 whole days back in your pocket just from one 15-minute training session. That's not just saving time. That is a total game changer.
And that idea, that whole investing your time for a future payoff thing, is the perfect bridge to our final section. It's all about building a mindset that lasts. Because, let's be honest, you can have all the best tools and systems, but if your head's not in the right place, none of it is going to stick.
I love this quote. It is the perfect description of the perfectionism trap. How often do we get so completely wrapped up in making something absolutely flawless that we blow right past the deadline when good enough would have been, well, good enough?
So, we have to burn this into our brains. Never let the perfect be the enemy of the good. The goal isn't some impossible, imaginary ideal. The goal is to deliver the necessary quality, on time, and on budget. It's about making a conscious choice that frees you up from getting stuck on details that just don't matter in the end.
And that brings us to what might be the single most powerful and most difficult tool in your entire time-saving toolkit. It's a tiny 2-letter word: no. You have to get comfortable saying it. To your colleagues, to your team, sometimes even to your boss. And you know who the hardest person to say no to is? Yourself. When you get that impulse to take on just one more thing.
Because ultimately, this is the whole point. This isn't about becoming a productivity robot or cramming more and more work into the same 24 hours. It's about working smarter, not longer. It's about actually achieving more while making your job less stressful and hopefully a lot more satisfying. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. Once you start using these ideas and you start saving this time, creating these extra pockets in your day, the real question is, what are you going to invest it in? What are the truly important things you'll finally have time for? That, right there, is the real prize.